What's up, guys? Johnny Maggot here, and it's time to play the Tennessee Titans. Jared Goff's Tennessee Titans. Oh, hey, we have weekly awards. Donnell and Howard won weekly awards last week for our team. Donnell with 9 touchdown passes, and Howard with 3 picks. And now we're off to the game. Barkley's averaging roughly 10 yards a carry. And roughly 100 yards a game.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Toronto Mounties and the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans
The
in a
first
dome.
2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team. When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here we go. 180.
Here's Goff now on second down. And that is incomplete.
Get your hands in there.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys.
Here we go.
But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Oh, shit.
Jordan Reed has it. And he
I
gets
guess
this
the wrong
one
cut.
just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
All right.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can
Someone
have
on a
that type of
blitz.
a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. But if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside.
Pearson, trick over the
That's where
lineman.
he, their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Here we go.
The numbers for Collins last week: 14 carries, 74 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box, find other ways to move the football.
Really get in there 2 seconds, make that hit.
Or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll
Let's
leave
go,
him
man,
with a
because
3rd and 7.
But that call makes sense
The zone
because
wasn't
they've been
working
throwing it
well.
well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Open man is
Damn.
Miller. He's got it. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate?
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
Yeah, we're definitely going to decline that.
So they will take the
penalty is
instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
To throw on second down is gone. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Miller. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is third down.
4 down. Check. 180.
Out of the gun. Goff. This is Yeldon
Oh,
on
come
the
on.
dump off. And he will
That was methodical type off that drive.
Titans. TJ Yeldon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
That's feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Get my substitutions in while I can.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Uses the spin. Still fighting for more.
There you go.
And
Good
he'll
run.
take
Good
it
run.
down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 22 and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
No. Check. Patriot.
Yeah, I think it was getting this play off. Nope. Took too long.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right
Still
about
first
that
down.
because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Gun.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Yeah, up there.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Yeah, that.
Picked up by Mike Hughes.
That's right.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
That sucks.
The drive starts with a run by Collins. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw
There you go.
Rifles one that's intercepted.
Got back.
Picked off at the 49. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now Saquon
Oh, offensive lineman just, the blocker's just getting away.
Back at the 48-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football.
Man, Jones, you can hold on to that. I know you can.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They're going to look to throw.
There we go.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
Hero of the playoffs right there.
Takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on
that play was all offensive line.
And open, that's Calvin Ridley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. These are his numbers from last week's contest. Now you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
They'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4.
All right.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled
the first down, though.
at the 1. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense,
He gets open.
find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the
Oh, he caught it. There we go. I thought for sure the
Julio
lineman was going
Jones.
to jump that
His
route. Yeah.
14th touchdown now on the year. And his
Oh, yeah, the
guys are
corner
an
had a
extra
jump.
point away from tying this thing up.
Well, linebacker had jumped.
Well, that's about as quick
didn't
of a
really have a
passing
jump.
touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again here on offense. Jared Goff trots
What's
back
up,
onto the field.
GPGO4?
And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought was,
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen
No way I'm
soon.
gonna be able
Coming
to
up
with
now
that
on
play
a
again.
2nd and 15 following that sack.
Right away, at least.
Here's Goff.
Oh,
Got
come
his
on.
man complete over the middle. It's Gomez.
That bounce, though.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And they get him down, but not
Split
before
the
he takes it
defensive
across
line, and
the
they ran
40-yard
right up the
line.
middle.
Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with a football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Play action. It's gone. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Alex Collins that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable
Joey
to find
stays
anyone
undefeated
open.
8-0.
second down. Here's Sheldon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's got some space here. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Barkley, and now he bowls him over. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, now it's the safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
And that's exactly what this play is supposed to look like when it's executed properly. The handoff inside was taken away as well as the pitch man, but the quarterback made the perfect decision and kept it and sprinted deep downfield.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just
Donnell
because there's
takes
not enough
a
space
lick.
for receivers to run through.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better
down.
shape now for 3rd. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Calvin
Ridley
Ridley
finds that
hitting
open
double
spot.
digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Oh, that's not fair.
Now
Ridley
they'll
on
line up to
linebacker.
kick the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't
Run that play. I know how to stop
that's
it.
your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. 180.
On second down, Collins. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked.
Three Mounties touched the ball.
Defensively, but instead it just brings up
and
fourth
no
down.
Titans do.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. It's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want it to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who can go up and come down with it, finds a way to get to the football.
And the offensive line has given them time in the pocket to have that uncovering late.
No. Check, Patriot.
Here's the former Heisman winner, it's Derrick Henry. And inside the try
there we go.
Before he's brought down. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to Tennessee after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually...
And it's caught. Touchdown.
All right.
Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play that time for the Titans. 43 yards.
Burnt, brother.
Well, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
180.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. If you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
From the red zone now, Goff throwing the out route incomplete. That's Reed. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
180.
From the gun, here's Goff. And
Nice
he's not
sack.
able to get away. Sacked back at the
D-Boston
22.
with the
Now
stunner.
Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
120.
A shotgun snap for Goff. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask.
Good job,
Defense.
dumbass. With 4th down.
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
Here's Goff.
Well, actually, that benefited us, the face mask.
Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman.
All right.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Detroit!
Guarantee that safety is going to come over and cover Jones.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Try to lay
crap.
one up deep. And that one will fall
I got lucky.
incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big
No,
shot
don't score.
right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Oh,
and
timeout.
he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Now back to throw. And he will find
Oh, there we
Ridley
go.
on the left side. 20.
You got Ridley.
And touchdown.
Boom.
Calvin Ridley in the final seconds of the first.
I don't like it like
And those
that.
guys find a way
Oh,
to stretch
man.
that lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number two.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before
Yeah,
the
we'll
half
do
ends.
this real quick.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they will start out in great shape.
Now they throw the Hail Mary
very
pass,
close
and
to
maybe we pick it off
midfield.
and return it. I'm less concerned about them actually completing it.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
180.
The final shot before break here. Goff. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he's able to get it
Boost our
back to
stats.
right around the 27. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, 3rd quarter. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff Spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them.
Yeah, we need to really get out of the way of the offensive lineman there.
That might be made defensively. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
That good for 19 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
He'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
Oh,
and incomplete there.
Took the ball
nice
too high, too long.
Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
I know retirement ceremonies
And
are
we
rocking
have a
chairs
party
often
invite from
one of the major
Electron,
gifts,
which...
but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah,
If he wants to watch, he can watch.
I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'm not going to stop the broadcast to
Okay,
I
good.
just need some chocolate and a
party.
box of tissue. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of it.
Touchdown!
There we go, Funches.
Devin Funches hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
All right.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
He goes underneath for Yeldon. And to the 42-yard line.
The former safety, the former defensive end, and now linebacker. Tell you.
And it'll make it second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Here we go. White 20.
Throwing on third. Goff. Jordan Reed has it. And all all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Tennessee. And even 40 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
180! 44's the mic. 44's mic. Check.
On play action, here's Goff.
Oh, yeah.
Rush
There we
coming,
go.
and he's taken down.
Dick Tusack gets in there.
That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Looking for the end zone.
Oh, I did poorly there.
It's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Laquan Treadwell, his 4th touchdown on the year.
No, he got his feet in. Unless he bobbled the ball, he got his feet in.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point try, good by Gano. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you're worried about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds.
crap.
Make them
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
Let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Here's a 1st down run with Collins. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Over the middle, complete. It's Gomez. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Block 20!
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And he misses it.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Patriot! Hot!
with a run by Barkley. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And able to push his way forward here for a good little
third
gain.
quarter.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
He'll look to throw.
Ridley, there we go.
The 20. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And all the way in for the touchdown. Calvin Ridley, 47 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback,
It
and
could
it comes
come
out
down
to
to
the
that, but
25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
It'll come down to me and Joe's head-to-head matchup if Joe loses the game. If Joe loses the game.
180.
On first down, it's gone. And he's going to be taken down.
2
Goffs
sacks. 2 sacks.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
On second down, here's Goff. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Matt Ioannidis in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
That right now,
6 sacks.
that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Let's see. Let's run something a little different.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll drop the throw. That is caught inside the 5.
Right.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
We got Fuller the 5th.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
There
And
we
it's
go.
caught. Touchdown. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors,
Fuller
one of the great
receiving core.
commentators of all time, He used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
But
one of our guys.
she's singing too.
Oh, she's at
She's
least
on like the 5th tune at
yeah,
this point.
she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're good.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Saquon Barkley gets hurt on that play a lot, even when he's not the carrier. I don't like it.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Dancing to his left. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
And he gets it to Funches complete. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Dylan Cole. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Damn it.
This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football.
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before. Trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
Break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Now it looks like he'll throw here. 20! Caught on the right side by Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
That's
He
what
won't
when
be
you have
too long.
competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another
Oh,
touchdown.
59 seconds. When he hit 60.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point splits the uprights.
Oh, a
and the lead will
0-0
swell
final.
by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling again.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll
And
look
be
to
another
throw.
interception.
And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his man on the crossing route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow.
Wow, let's say 0-0.
You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
I'll do it, YouTube.
So for our visitors, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long.
So long, YouTube. We'll see you again next time. Peace.